Hello, Sag. Welcome or welcome back. We're going to go ahead and tap into your mid-month energy and go from there. So keep in mind, this is going to be a general reading. This is going to be pretty short, just because I've noticed that there's more investment into other types of readings. But if I see more of these like energy readings, beginning, middle, and end of the month, then I'll go ahead and invest a little bit more into this. Okay, Sag, let's get your energy for the reading. We have codes of the seeds. The blueprint is within you. Take the time to take the next step. And then I also do see here whispers of the Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, winter, and channel. Okay, so during this period or this time, you're in incubation phase. I know that one of your other fellow fire signs was in the same notion, so you could have a fire in your big three aside from your sun sign. I also do see here that you're cultivating something that may be a little bit different than what you're used to. At the bottom of the deck, I do see sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pressure. Okay, I want to know if this is like romance. If it is, then we're going to go from there. But I don't get the feeling as of yet of what it is. So let's go ahead and get some tarot out here. We have transitional movement, right? This is a challenge or a conflict that may be arising during this time. It could be some type of thought, or like maybe a communication issue didn't really happen, but it's kind of like knowing the truth and making decisions from there. It's kind of like, do you want to still continue to invest into this, or do you want to go ahead and just pull back? I also do see here where it's you're a navigator, right? You're nurturing a little bit more and you're being the leader with your emotions. So you could have gotten triggered is what I'm getting, but not necessarily, pushing back per se. You kind of like took a step back and now you're contemplating like, is that even real? Do I make this decision of what was given to me of this type of communication? Like what am I thinking? What truth do I need to see? So it could have like really hit home just from a conversation that you may have had with somebody. It could be a loved one. It left you like in stagnation. You could be like contemplating like, okay, do I heal this or not? Aquarius energy. Do I have the energy to even go through this? Because I do feel like you went through it. Okay, you're going through it and you're kind of like, why am I being bombarded with all of this now? Like, why is this happening now? But I do see here for your mid-month energy that you're going to be essentially giving yourself the grace, giving yourself that kind of the hope, and having faith, right, into a renewal of a series of events that happened because of this. It could have been where it was like a tower moment is what I'm getting. But yeah, when you see these types of decisions, it causes the inner growth. It causes you to take a step back and see where your discernment may be invested into, right? A lot of the times when we hear kind of like something that we don't want to hear, it's the truth. We know deep down inside, but it's, it allows us to have the patience and assess what is the truth. Why is this happening? Like, why was this given? Let's see what else. Yeah, see, we have a lot of sevens coming out here, a lot of mind. Again, when it's coming to that, it's the communication, it's the truth, knowing what it is about that, and knowing how the challenges are, right? What are the obstacles? Why was this type of conflict brought into my life? At the bottom of the deck, why was it created, and how can I harness that and alchemize it to be falling into my favor? At the bottom of the deck, ooh, we have the Hierophant. So this is like a big turn of events for you. This is big. It's a major arcana when we're like encompassing the entire energy. When it comes to the Hierophant, this is giving Taurus energy, right? Movement, groundedness. Wow, that came out intense. So at this time, you want to harness focus in on more of like replenishing your like root chakra, your sacral and solar plexus. Those are like the big three from the bottom. Those are the ones that we like, you know, use a lot of the time. But when we're cultivating more from like intuition wise, we use the other ones, right? The higher chakras. So when it comes to this, I do see here when you're honing in on the wisdom and tradition, right? You're following maybe on a different aspect that you may have not followed before. I do see here incubation. Maybe it could be, like I said, we're talking about romance earlier. It could have been, you know, maybe something that's like, ooh, sorry, romantic wise. I also do see here where, you know, it may have been kind of like a bittersweet moment of these, like this type of communication that was happening. It could be like separation. It could be something that's, you know, really have been happening in your relationship a lot. I do see here, but it could be also with a loved one as well, right? But it's something that has to do more with the heart. Like I said, yes, you are working from your heart center a lot, but now is the time to hone in on being more grounded. Maybe step outside and take a walk, you know, walk through like some where it's like I'm seeing a lot of like lush gardens. If you don't have, you know, anything nearby there, but you know, go outside and take a breath of fresh air, right? Clear your head, clear your mind, because I do see like there's like a lot of clutter that's going on in the mind at this time, just because of this type of conversation. And it may not have been the same conversation, but it was like similar to different conversations that you may have had, and that's what triggered you to contemplate and see the inner growth. Like, hey, this is happening, you know, you're noticing it and you're clocking it, and you're like, this isn't going about more than one time. This is causing a lot of conflict. I don't know what it is, but I need to have the patience. So it like kind of like it was a turn of events that's going on. That was intense. So I want to go ahead and give you like a little bit of reminders for your mid-month energy before we close out your reading, Sag. So let's go ahead and give you some reminders. At this time, if you made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, okay? I love to see you again, and hopefully you'll tell me like the story of what happened. No dusties, no pygmishas. It could have been where you were, you know, honing in on the wrong energy, and now that you're in this type of relationship or this dynamic duo, it's not the same as it was before. It could be like you were used to like mundane thrills is what I'm getting, but now you're no longer doing that. And it could be your higher self is kind of like, I'm no longer putting up with this. We've outgrown this. We're mastering this. Now it's time to hone in and harness on a higher vibration. You have arrived at your next chapter, love. Yeah, see, it's like you're putting in the work. Like you don't mind, you know, getting these types of feedbacks, and you know these triggers. I do believe that you're a master manifester is what I'm getting. So it's like you're not new to these type of triggers is what I'm getting. You're not new to tower moments. You're not new, like this is not your first time around the block basically, okay? Maybe. So there's an opportunity always. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? So you see more of like the optimistic side of things, more the brighter side of things, right? So yeah, don't forget to comment, and subscribe, okay? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Sag.